in any wrongdoing. He says, nor should acceptance by them be misconstrued as any admission of guilt for any offense. He says our nation, quote, owes these public servants a debt of gratitude for faithfully discharging their duties. Notably, his last comments in this statement add that these pardons, he says, should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that any individual engaged for their tireless commitment to our country. Now, let's back up for a moment. President Trump, incoming President Trump, as you know, has been a fierce critic and has really railed against so many of those individuals that are receiving these pardons today.
Breaking news. Biden just pardoned his whole family. No, this isn't an SNL skit. It's real life, folks.
President Biden, in his final hours, his final morning in office, has issued several high-profile pardons.
Among those pardoned this morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, and the members and staff.
First reported President Biden, even yesterday, I'm told, was very seriously considering using this extraordinary presidential power to preemptively pardon some individuals. And this morning, as we are reporting,
who served on the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol, including Liz Cheney.
And police officers who have spoken out as well.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Most recently, in late December of last year, Donald Trump verbally attacked Liz Cheney, saying that she committed, quote, egregious and unthinkable acts of crime. That was December 22nd, less than a month ago, of Mark Milley.
NBC's senior Washington correspondent. Peter really raises the point that needs to be made here. There were sometimes explicit, sometimes implicit threats.
In the past, he suggested that he deserved execution, and the fact that some of the actions he had taken in the past would have been worthy of execution. So to be clear, Joe Biden, some of his final actions now to preemptively pardon some of those high-profile figures.
In a move that's got everyone's jaws on the floor, President Biden decided to go out with a bang. He's pardoning his brother, sister, and their spouses like he's Oprah handing out cars. You get a pardon. You get a pardon. Everybody gets a pardon. Is this the most bizarre family reunion ever, or what? Well, folks, it looks like old Joe Biden's been busy with his presidential Sharpie, but he's not signing executive orders this time. Nope, he's handing out pardons like they're going out of style. Picture this. It's Biden's last day in the Oval Office.
It is clear that he has decided to do just that in these final hours in office to guard against any potential revenge by the incoming Trump administration, by the incoming President Trump. President Biden just announcing, as you note, that he is pardoning Dr. Anthony Fauci. As in part, our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day. They are the lifeblood of our democracy. Yet alarmingly, he adds, public servants have been subjected to ongoing threats and intimidation that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. That includes Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, Adam Kinzinger, among others, as well as Capitol and D.C. police who testified before that committee. I want to share with you part of what the president writes. He said,
and instead of packing up his favorite ice cream flavors or practicing his aviator sunglasses pose, he's scribbling names on pardon papers faster than you can say malarkey. But why is Grandpa Joe suddenly playing the role of Santa Claus with get-out-of-jail-free cards? Is it because his family's been extra good this year? Not quite. Turns out Biden claims his family's been getting picked on by some mean bullies. Poor Bidens, right? It's like high school all over again, but with more wrinkles and political drama. So who's on Biden's nice list? We've got James, Sarah, Valerie, John, and Francis. The whole Biden bunch is getting a golden ticket. It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but instead of chocolate, it's pardons. And instead of Oompa Loompas, it's, well, let's not go there.
Serious threats against Liz Cheney, Mark Milley, and others by Trump or by members of his team. So this pardon potentially has real-life consequences for these individuals.
Not mince words. I said, you think Liz Cheney should go to jail? He said, yes. Never said what the crime was, by the way, and since then has not laid out the crime. What's notable is that you have committee members like Liz Cheney, like Senator Adam Schiff saying, absolutely does. When I interviewed President-elect Trump in December, he was quite clear. He said, I think members of the January 6th committee should go to jail. He did not.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Biden's swearing up and down that his family didn't do anything naughty, so why the pardons? It's like giving someone an umbrella when there's not a cloud in the sky. Is Biden just really into preemptive weather protection? Turns out our commander-in-chief is worried his family might get in trouble just for being related to him. Talk about family drama. It's like Biden's playing defense for Team Biden before the other team even shows up to the game. Maybe he's just trying to avoid awkward Thanksgiving dinners in the future. Pass the turkey, and oh, by the way, sorry about that federal investigation. But wait, there's more. James Biden, Joe's brother, has been in the GOP's crosshairs lately. They've been suggesting he should be prosecuted for allegedly pulling a Pinocchio act with Congress about Joe's involvement in the family business. It's like a game of he said, bro said, but with higher stakes and fewer pizza parties. Biden's trying to play it cool though. He's all like, these pardons?
So this is a significant historic moment because it speaks to the concerns about the threats of legal repercussions that the January 6th committee and all of the other folks, you don't want a pardon. But here's the key thing to know. Once the president issues these pardons, that's it. You don't get to reject it. The pardon is there. And so
oh, they don't mean anything. It's not like anyone did anything wrong. It's just a little insurance policy, you know, in case someone trips and falls into some legal trouble. Sure, Joe. And I'm just keeping this life jacket on in case my living room suddenly floods. All right, folks, let's put on our thinking caps and figure out what's really going on with Grandpa Joe's pardon party. Biden says he's just protecting his family from mean bullies. But come on, we weren't born yesterday. This whole thing smells fishier than the dumpster behind Red Lobster. Let's take a stroll down memory lane, shall we? Remember when Biden promised he wouldn't pardon his son Hunter? Well, guess what? In December 2024, he went and did just that. Oopsie daisy. Hunter got a get out of jail free card for tax evasion and gun charges. Talk about a family discount. Now the Republicans are throwing a hissy fit. They're saying Biden's abusing his power like it's a all-you-can-eat buffet. James Comer, the big cheese of the House Oversight Committee, is practically foaming at the mouth. He's calling these pardons a confession of their corruption. Ouch, that's gotta sting. But here's the kicker. Folks, Biden waited until the last minute to hand out these pardons. It's like he was hoping nobody would notice if he slipped them in with the White House silverware. But why the rush? Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that Biden might be trying to shield his family from potential investigations by the incoming Trump administration. Talk about a plot twist. Now, before you start thinking this is totally bonkers, let's remember that presidential pardons for family members aren't exactly new. Bill Clinton pardoned his brother Roger for drug charges, and Donald Trump pardoned Charles Kushner, his son-in-law's daddy. But those pardons came after actual convictions. Biden's just handing them out like party favors before anyone's even been charged. So what does all this mean for Biden's legacy and the future presidential pardons? Well, it's not looking great, folks. It's like Biden took the presidency,